Okay, so if you want to set yourself up in a seated position, welcome to a 30-minute morning yoga practice. So lifting the flesh from the bum cheeks and seeing if you can set the base of the pelvis into the floor. And then we're going to start in a comfortable seated position with a nice straight long spine. So legs crossed if that's right for you. If you can't bend the legs, then you can just have the feet in front of the body with the bend in the legs if you can't cross the legs. If you can cross the legs, see if you can get one foot to the opposite in a hip. And then making sure that the spine is nice and long. So sitting as tall as you can. Hands are going to come to the knees, and we're going to place the back of the hands into the knees. And then seeing if you can create a nice big space with the chin and the chest. And then we're going to see if we can start to lengthen through the torso. So really extending the breath and the spine up as tall as you can. So close down the eyes. If you feel super sleepy this morning, then maybe just keep the eyes halfway open. If not, just gently close down the eyes and just start the practice in stillness. So we always start the practice in a little bit of stillness so that we can arrive onto the mat. So first thing in the morning, just starting to check in with yourself, notice how the body feels today. Notice any chatter in the mind. Just observing anything that's happening today, not getting too caught up in thoughts. Start to notice your natural energy levels. And if you've woke up this morning feeling particularly tired or like you wanted to snooze for a little bit longer, then making sure that throughout the next 30 minutes, you're going to stay completely connected to the breath, using the breath to let go of any of that grogginess from last night's sleep. And then without changing the breath, just notice what your natural rate of breath is. So is it shallow? Is it in the throat? Is it in the chest? Is it in the stomach? And then together we're going to connect into a deep belly breath. So option with the hands to put them on top of the belly button, or you can put them either side of the belly button, kind of where the ribs would be. And we're just going to put them there to bring our awareness to the stomach so we can really connect into a belly breath for the rest of the practice. So if the eyes are closed, just gently blink them open and just pick something in front of you to gaze at. So either straight ahead of you in your eye line or maybe something in front of you on the floor. Try not to look too close towards the ground so you've got a nice straight spine. And then we're going to start to lengthen the inhale through the nose to the count of 4. As you do, see if you can notice the ribs and the belly start to rise. And then as you exhale through the nose, feel it fall. Inhaling through the nose deeply to the count of 4. And exhale through the nose. This time as you inhale, I want you to inhale in for the count of 4. And as you take a deep breath in, see if you can send the breath right down to the bottom of the belly. Expand in this section here so the ribs are coming really tall and strong. And then see if you can keep that length with the body, but just exhale the breath out. So if you're not used to connecting with this kind of belly breath, it might feel a little bit strange, but just see if you can stick with it for a few more rounds. So hands are really bringing the awareness to the stomach as you take a deep breath in. Feel the ribs flare out. See if you can send the breath all the way to the bottom of the belly, not just the chest and the throat. Keep that height in the spine as you exhale out. This time we're going to hold. So on the inhale, take a deep breath in. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. See if you can really squeeze the ribs away from the fingers so that they're holding all that breath in. Starting to engage the stomach muscles. And then exhale out. So you let the hands return back down to the knees. Seeing if you can do 2 more rounds of that breath, really creating some extension in the ribs and creating a longer spine with the hand, without the hands to bring our awareness. So deep inhaling. Feel the ribs flare, feel the belly go for the breath, go all the way down to the belly, and then exhale to the nose. Inhale deeply. Exhale out. And this time we're going to speed the breath up a little bit to get a little bit of energy before we start to move. So we're going to take a sharp inhale through the nose and then a sharp exhale through the mouth. So you're going to go in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Exhale out through the mouth with pursed lips. It's almost as if you're trying to kind of blow something away from you. In, out, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in, out. See if you can use the ribs and the stomach as you do this. So really pump the belly out with the stomach. So really use the nose to really suck as much air in as you can. 5 more. Really taking as much oxygen as you can through that nose, get some energy for this morning. Ready for your practice, last one. And then when you're ready, close down the eyes, let the breath return to normal. Option to bring your hands to prayer at heart center. And we're just going to set one intention for ourselves this morning. So everyone's on a different path with their yoga journey. Everyone's dealing with different things. Just acknowledging what's happening for you this morning. Knowing that whatever happens on the mat for the next 30 minutes, you'll just connect back in with the breath, honor the body, never push it past your limits. And see if you can have a little bit of fun with the movement this morning. We're going to try and make it a little bit flowy. Gently blink the eyes open when you're ready. You're going to roll forward onto all fours. So coming into tabletop position. Making sure that you're set up nice and straight so the hands are a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. A little micro bend in the knuckles, and see if you can really push into the mat with the hands. Push into the mat so hard that you feel the shoulders start to rise away from the ground. Keep your gaze in between your hands so your neck's nice and neutral. And then with the knees, make sure that the hips are directly above the knees. You're going to just kick the back of the feet into the mat, get a little bit of energy in the shin to the back of the feet, and then just settle into a place of stillness. And then you're going to notice where your tailbone is this morning. So quite often when we first wake up, our posture can be a little bit slouchy sometimes. So just seeing if you can tuck the tailbone under. So imagine if you had a tail and you were going to show it off, you want the opposite of that. You're going to tuck the tailbone under. Seeing if you can continue to push into the ground with the shoulders, but really tuck the tailbone under as much as you can. See if you can squeeze that belly button in. And then you're going to very gently start to sway the hips from side to side. So the legs and the hands are staying where they are, but the hips are just going to start to sway from side to side. If you can, see if you can drop the hips a little bit further without lifting the knees off the ground. So we're just starting to release into the pelvis and the hips here, nice and slow before we start to flow. Remembering to connect with the breath. So for the rest of the practice, we're going to do a deep inhale through the nose and a deep exhale through the nose. Seeing if you can inhale with a count of 2 or 3 through the nose, and then out for 2 and 3 through the nose. And then gently bring the hips back to center. And then when you're ready on the inhale, you're going to very gently just lift that right hand and take it towards the sky and just twist towards the right. On the exhale, take it back down. On the inhale, take the left hand towards the sky and take it back down. And then change sides at your own pace. And maybe you might not get very far. So in the morning, I can't twist very far, but just noticing where your body's holding tension and seeing if you can follow your gaze to the hand as it goes towards the sky and then follow it back down. One more on each side. So as you take a breath in, take the right arm up and exhale down. One more inhale, left, exhale down. Nice. This time you're going to tuck the toes. You're going to come back onto the bums, coming back towards the heels. And then you're just going to lift the knees off the ground for now. Hold there and then see if you can tuck the tailbone under and then lift the hips towards the sky, coming to downward dog. So first downward dog of the day, you're definitely going to need to pad them heels out towards the floor, release the tension at the back of the legs. Seeing if you can lift the hips a little bit higher towards the sky. And then when you're ready, you're going to walk your feet to meet your hands. So we're going to come to a forward fold or ragdoll. So we're hinging at the hips here. We're trying to get the chest towards the top of the thighs. If you can't fold over that far, then just letting the arms fall wherever they fall. Making sure the chest is nice and heavy over the legs. Feet should be a little bit wider than mat width distance. And then we're just going to start to sway the arms from side to side. So as if the arms are kind of drawing a rainbow from left to right. You're just going to let them sway from side to side. Keep the chin tucked towards the chest. We're going to do quite a little bit standing today. So seeing if you can really feel the feet rooting through the mat. Remembering the breath, the deep inhale through the nose and out through the nose. And if you ever get the distracting thoughts or wondering what time it is or what we've got to do today, just always bring the breath, the attention back to the breath, training your awareness to be focused on the breath. So morning practice, you can be quite stiff and achy in the back. So we're going to do a couple of roll up and downs. So starting with the hands nice and heavy in ragdoll. And then we're going to come rolling up to stand up with a count of 10. So super slow, start to roll the spine, head and chin are the last things to come up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when you get to the top, we're going to go straight back down. So you're going to tuck the chin first, then the head. As if you're rolling up a piece of paper, let the arms fall in front of you and just roll down towards the ground. When you get to the bottom, you're going to come right back in. So very slowly, as if you're moving through treacle or slow motion, up to standing. And then when you get to the top, tuck the chin, and then roll all the way back down again. When you get to the bottom, one more roll up. Take it nice and slow. Let the head and the chin be the last thing to come up. And then when you come up to standing, you're going to find your mountain pose. So at the top of the top of the mat, if you're on a mat, or just so there's a little bit of space in front of you. So in mountain pose, we're stood nice and tall. The feet are together and the knees are together, thighs together. See if you can squeeze the thighs together to create one nice kind of like a tree trunk going towards the ground. The legs will feel as if they're glued together. See if you can tuck that tailbone under, so you can even put your hand on the back and the front of your tailbone and just tuck the pelvis under, starting to lengthen through the spine. See if you can start to inhale and really flare them ribs out at the front, so you've got a nice extension in the body. Hands either side of the body, palms face forward. And let's just take a moment here to feel grounded. The more grounded we feel in this practice, the better we're going to flow in these standing postures. So pinching the shoulder blades together, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Nice straight spine with a place in between the chin and the chest. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the thighs, feel nice and strong. Connecting with one deep breath before we move. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. On the next inhale, you're going to gently bounce the knees. On the inhale, sweep the hands towards the sky. And then on the exhale, you're going to gently bring the hands to prayer at heart center. And again, gently bend the knee, bounce the knees. Inhale, look, reach up. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, reach up, bounce the knees. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. And this time you're going to walk the feet to about hip width distance, so about 2 feet, 2 steps away from each other. And then on the inhale, bounce the knees, take the hands towards the sky. This time on the exhale, you're going to gently fold over, and then you're going to do a halfway lift. So in halfway lift, the hands are going to come to the shins. Let's make our back nice and straight, as if someone's got a tray on your back. And you're going to push the bum away from you, feeling a nice stretch into the back of the legs. Gently put a bend in the knee. On the inhale, keep the hands at prayer, take through the midline of the body, tip above the head, reach up. And then in the exhale, let's come back down to halfway lift. And then we're going to do that with a little bit of a flow of movement. So on the inhale, bend the knees, take the hands above the head. And then on the exhale, bend down to halfway lift. Inhale, bend the knees, and then straighten the legs as you get to the top. As you exhale down, you can bend the knees as you come down, but then when you get to halfway lift, straighten the knees as much as you can, get a stretch in the back of the legs. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. One last one, and then we're going to hold. So inhale, reach up. See if you can really reach as tall as you can. And then on the exhale, go down to halfway lift, and you're just going to hold. So straighten the legs, hands come to the shins. Look towards the ground so that the neck's nice and neutral. Push that bum away from you so you get a stretch in the back of the legs. And see if you can bring the weight into the toes. So likely they've got into the heel so you don't fall over. See if you can bring the weight into the toes and feel that stretch in the back of the legs. That burns for me this morning, so just notice where it feels for you and continue to breathe. One more deep breath, and then nice gentle bend into the knees, and let's gently come back up to standing. And then this time we're going to inhale the right knee towards the chest. So if you've got no space behind you, maybe just make sure you've got space in front and behind. So the right knee is going to come to the chest, and we're going to give it a hug. Hug that right knee in. If you can't balance, then you can just place the right foot on the floor. You're just trying to activate that left leg this morning. And then on the inhale, you're going to take the arms towards the sky. See if that right knee can come up towards the sky as well. And then on the exhale, you're going to take the hands down by the hips, and the right foot's just going to step behind you. So no kind of like big, wide stance and make you more wobbly, just nice and close to that right foot. Inhale, right knee up towards the chest. Exhale, take it back. Inhale up. Exhale back. So really using the right foot to push into the left foot as you come up to take your right foot towards right knee towards the chest. As you exhale, really plant both feet towards the mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. On the next one, we're going to hold the knee to the chest. So take the right knee towards the chest. Option to take that right hand on the right knee. You're going to need your left hand to keep your balance. Pick something to look at and come back to the breath. So it's quite often that we lose the breath throughout the practice. Come back to the inhale here for 2 deep breaths in. Starting the day nice and tall, nice and strong, but nice and focused and calm. And then gently release that right leg. And then just kick both of the legs out. A bit of shake. Kick the hands out. Shake off any of that energy that's coming up. I don't cue for you to take a drink of water, but if you ever want to take a drink, then feel free. And then walking on the opposite side. So the left knee is going to come towards the chest again. If that's too wobbly for you, make sure the right foot's nice and planted and just place the left foot in front of you. And then on the exhale, that left foot's going to step back. So option with the hands, it's quite useful to use the hands here to sweep up as you come up to standing, bring the knee to the chest if you can. And then as you exhale, take it back. Just drop the knee as much as feels comfortable. Inhale up, exhale back. So the right leg's doing a lot of work here. As we inhale up, push that right foot into the ground, lift the knee as high as you can. And then as you exhale, take it back. Inhale up, exhale back. Notice if we've lost the rib and belly breath. As you inhale up, see if you can really inhale into the ribs and the belly, getting some extension as you reach towards the sky. Keep that extension as you exhale and just drop that left foot. Inhale up, exhale down. One more, inhale up, exhale down. This time we're going to hold the knee up. So take the left knee towards the chest, hold the left knee with the left leg, or just point in front of you. That's not for you today. Use the right hand for balance. Pick something to look at and take 2 deep breaths. Use that right foot to push into the mat. Block that right knee if you can. Engage in the thigh. And then exhale, release. Gently kick out the legs again. Keep out the hands. Get rid of any of that negative energy that we've released from doing the moves. And then gently come into standing position again. Feet together, knees together, thighs together. This time we're going to inhale our hands up towards the sky. And on the exhale, you're going to cactus them down. So in cactus, we bend the elbows and spread the fingers. On the inhale, reach up. But this time on the exhale, you're going to exhale the cactus and just gently twist the body to the right. So the right elbow goes behind you, left in front. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the left. Left elbow behind you, right to right. So see if you can keep the hips facing forward. As you inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist from the chest. And then exhale back. And then just take this at your own pace, each side. So if you want to take it a little bit quicker if you're energized, or maybe just nice and long, slow movements. Whatever your body wants this morning, just see if you can listen to the body. Moving through this a couple more times on each side. And then when you've done the last side on the left, gently coming back up, finishing in Tadasana in the standing pose, nice and tall. Bringing the thighs together, hands either side of the body. And then you're going to clasp the hands behind you. See if you can grab the palms together. If you can't, then you can just grab opposite elbows, or you can just grab the back of your trousers or t-shirt. And then see if you can stand a little bit taller with the hands behind you, popping the chest forward, gently look towards the sky. If you've got no lower back problems, an option to really squeeze the glutes and just gently take the hands away from the body. Just have a nice little back bend, looking towards the sky. And then gently come back up. And then on the inhale, bounce the knees. Sweep the hands above the head to prayer. Exhale, come down, up to swan dive, and then just up halfway lift. And then you're going to see if you can plant the hands to the ground. Step back with the right foot, and then step back with the left. And then pop the hips up and come back to downward dog. So a restorative pose in downward dog. Make sure that the hands are pushed into the mat. The head wants to be closer towards the feet, and let's just lift our hips towards the sky. Come up onto our tiptoes, and then on the exhale, melt the heels towards the ground. Inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, heels. Inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, heels. Just hold in downward dog for a second. See if you can make your spine a little bit straighter. Push your ears and your shoulders away from each other. So you've got a nice space and the shoulders are nice and active. Hold here for a second. And then if you need to come down onto your knees, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you're going to come forward into plank. And then on the exhale, we're going to go back to downward dog. So really using every part of the body for this pose. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, come up to downward dog. Again, if you need to come down to your knees, do so. Just move the body forward and back. We're going to do this for 4 breaths. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. See if you can use the ribs for this. So as you inhale, really bring the ribs forward. Use the breath in the belly. Exhale back. And then when you've done your last one, pausing in downward dog for a second. And then when you're ready, you're going to walk your feet to meet your hands. And we're going to come back down to the mat and to sit into our bum. So option to do whatever feels right for you. If you want to join me, then you're going to see if you can come up onto your tiptoes. Bring your hands towards your heart and prayer. See if you can lower the bum back down so it meets the back of the heels. Actually looks a lot harder than it is for balance. And then see if you can make your body nice and tall and then just gently lower back down onto the mat. Coming back onto the sitting bones. So options across the legs, or you can have the legs out in front of you, whichever feels easier. So wherever the legs are, making the spine nice and straight, so nice and tall and straight. In fact, let's put our feet in front of us with a bend in the knee. And then hands are going to come to the shins. And then you can really notice how tall the spine is here. So especially if you're a home worker or a laptop or computer user, we don't even realise it that we stretch our shoulders. See if you can drop your shoulders. Imagine you've got something on your t-shirt that you want somebody above you to read, and you're trying to just shine your chest forward. Make sure that the stomach is starting to engage. So we don't want a curve in the lower back here. We want a nice strong spine. Hands come into the shins. See if you can gently take the body back a little bit. And then you're going to bring the hands to under the back of the knees. And then there's options here. So just listen to your body and take it stage by stage. If you go into it too quick, it might feel too much. But if you do it little bit by little bit, just build up this morning. So first of all, you're going to walk the feet closer towards you, towards the bum. And then you're going to take the body back. You're going to see if you can find your kind of balance point. So I always compare it to like when you get the, what's the thing? I can't even think, with the bite when you drive in a car, and you can get that kind of moment where you know that you've caught the balance. So bringing the spine back, walk the feet towards you, and maybe just lift the right foot for now. Really balancing on the sitting bones, making the spine nice and long. And then option to bring the left foot to meet the right, coming into boat pose. If that's too much, you can just put the big toe onto the mat. That's still enough. You're still going to start to activate the muscles of the core, starting to wake them up and create some fire. If the legs are up, then you've got the option to release the hands from the knees in front of you. If you really want a challenge this morning and you're feeling super powerful, you can take your hands above the head. But see if you can keep the spine nice and long. Hold here for 2 breaths. If the body starts to shake, that's just the energy channels trying to move through to keep the body where it is, and then gently release the feet towards the mat. Tuck the chin towards the chest, hook the shins, and just drop the chin towards the chest a little bit more, getting a stretch in the back of the neck. Hold here and breathe deeply for 2 breaths. Really let the head fall forward. And then when you're ready, on the inhale, bring the head and neck up to a nice neutral spine. And then you're going to wheel the hands behind you. So we're coming back, sitting on the bum, feet in front of us. And then hands, with the options, the hands, you can place your fingers away from you, or you can turn them in so the fingers face forward. It's just whatever feels right for you, especially if you've got any wrist or shoulder issues. For me, I prefer my fingers away from me, but just pick what feels right for you. And then before we move to the next pose, we're just going to connect back in with the breath. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. This time, sigh it out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Deep in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Close down the mouth this time and connect back in with the breath in and out through the nose. And then I want you to really ground the feet to the floor. So just start to push the feet into the floor. Don't lift anything off the floor, but just really pushing each foot into the floor, starting to feel that the pull of the feet and how it affects all the other parts of the knees and the hips. And then when you're ready, again, you've got options here. So your first option is just to look towards the sky. Second option is to just lift the hips off the ground, even just a centimetre or an inch. And then see if you can lift the hips all the way, and then you're going to reverse tabletop. So pushing the hips towards the sky. Drop the head behind you if that feels right. If it doesn't feel right for the neck, keep the chin tucked to the chest. Push into the mat with all 4 counterpoints here. So the hands and the feet really pushing into the mat. And then lower down on the exhale. Option to bring the feet closer towards you, which will give you a little bit more power. And we're going to go again with the breath. So on the inhale, take a deep breath in. Push the hips up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, lower back down. Inhale, take the hips to whichever one you want, just a little bit up or maybe all the way. And then exhale. Option to bring the hands in here. So option this time to do that again. Or if you want to, you can gently inhale the hips up, but lift the right arm up towards the sky, balancing on the left arm. And then exhale down. And then option to balance on the right arm, lift up with the left arm. So really stretching in the front of the body here. And it doesn't have to be big, exaggerated movements. Just take them slow at your own pace. So moving these, a couple more each side, or maybe just the hips of both hands to the ground. Not comparing your poses to what you did yesterday or you want to do tomorrow, just feeling the pose, every part of the body for you right now. And then we're going to do one more. An option here, if you want to just straighten the legs out. Hands are going to come behind you. Don't use one hand in this one, or well, you probably could do it, but this morning I think we might all fall over. Heels are going to be really grounded into the mat. And then option to keep the legs straight, just lift the hips off the ground, look towards the sky. Push into the floor with them hands, use the breath. And then exhale back down. Gently cross the legs together. Find a nice comfortable seated position. And then if you really need to this morning, I'm giving our day away already. This morning you can finish in a lay down position. Maybe if you've got a chair, you want to finish there. So we're going to finish with a pranayama exercise to really start our day with some energy. So finding a comfortable position for you to finish in. And I just want you to close down the eyes and just notice if you can feel it, the temperature in the body. As we've started to move the body, releasing it internally, the tension areas, increasing the heart rate slightly and getting the blood flowing this morning. And then we're going to start to connect in with the breath. And we're going to do a breath exercise to really maximize the oxygen intake. So taking a deep breath in through the nose, and then you're going to exhale through the mouth. So similar like we did at the start of class. So we're going to take a deep inhale through the nose, and then shoot it out in the mouth with pursed lips. So in, out, in, out. Option to keep the eyes halfway open here. Continue to do this at your own pace. With each inhale, see if you can make the spine nice and long. And with each exhale, see if you can keep that length, but just exhale through the mouth. Keep your attention completely on the breath. There's nothing else to do right now. Just focus on the breath. Maximize that oxygen intake. Keep the body soft, but really powerful through the breath. 3 more. And then gently close the eyes and let the breath return to normal for a second. Just feel what the body feels like with that extra take of oxygen in through the body. Remembering the connection between the breath and our mind and our mood, our temper, everything comes back to the breath. You can tell a lot of what's going on by the natural rate of your breath. Gently blinking the eyes open again. And then this time I'm going to do the opposite. So we're going to scoop the inhale in through the mouth with a nice strong inhale through the mouth. And then you're going to exhale out through the nose. So you might start to notice the chest comes up a little bit more here. That's absolutely fine. Just scoop it in through the mouth and then out through the nose. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And then start to slow the inhale, so extend them a little bit longer. So inhale through the mouth this time with a count of 3 and out through the nose. In through the mouth and out through the nose. In through the mouth, really taking as much oxygen as you can, and then out through the nose. 3 more. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Really taking the oxygen out through the nose. And then let's do one more, and we're going to hold. So we're going to really take a deep breath in through the mouth for as long as you can. Really use the ribs, use the stomach. Take a deep breath in. Hold at the top. Close down the eyes. Acknowledge that oxygen is going straight to all the vital organs of the body, the muscles, maximizing the oxygen intake. Hold the body in stillness as you keep that breath held in. Hold the breath with the ribs and the chest. Not just. And then exhale, sigh out. Connect back in with the normal rate of breath. In through the nose. out through the nose. Gently bring the hands to prayer at heart center. Look down towards the hands. Being grateful to yourself for starting the day with some movement of the body, knowing that the breath is there for you throughout the day when we feel like we're still in Groundhog Day or so many anxieties coming up about the pandemic or anything that's happening around us. Seeing if you can connect back into that inner place with the breath, where the only thing you're focused on is the breath and what's happening in your body. It truly is the only thing that we can control. Know that these practices are always there for you to start the day feeling a little bit more connected to yourself. Gently bring in your hands, keep them a prayer, bring them to the third eye. I wish you a day of kind thoughts to yourself, bringing them down to your lips, knowing that you can always speak your truth without judgment. And gently bringing your hands towards your heart, seeing if you can make an intention today to be a little bit more connected to those around you. So anyone you've not spoke to for a while, or maybe people that you do, but you just want to check they're okay. Seeing if you can just set yourself intention to reach out to somebody and feel connected to them. And I'm wishing you a very wakeful, productive day today. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. If it feels right to you, bringing your hands to your forehead and just bowing to the practice. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste, Anna.
Namaste.
Thanks,
Have a good
Anna.
day.
Namaste, thank you.
Thank you.